Hi everyone, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please wave your hand or the reactions or whatever. Can you hear me? Okay, that's good. So let's start the Anyone Python Season 1, the episode 3. The last week we did a couple of episodes successfully. So we are going to go forward. So Python. So before we start, just like the last time, I try to start with the stretching, so you can stretch out your hand or the arm, and it will take an hour, the lesson, so please stretch out. So if you are in the Eastern time, you probably had a nice dinner, and if you are in the West Coast, after the class, you will have the dinner with your family. If you are in Korea or the China, so it's early in the morning. So let's start the episode 3, the Anyone Python. So let me share with the iPad. Okay, very nice. So if you have any question, just like the last couple of episode, you can ask to our TA, Unji, or the Trinity. So I checked that the last time that we had the huge number of questions from the student. They are working very hard. So, but please understand sometimes the Unji and the Trinity cannot answer all your questions. So please keep your answer if that is the personal question or not related to this class. So please help us to step forward this class. Okay, so just like the last time, let me start with this. So can you remember what is this? So you can always use the chatting box you can answer everyone. What is this? Yes, right. So thank you, Hyunjung, Brandon. And so this is our computer. So this is sometimes called the server, or this is computer. So why do we need a computer? Think about why we use computer. So sometimes for fun and sometimes entertainment, but mostly we'd like to use a computer. We'd like to get the help of what? So computing power. So computer is very good at compute. So as we checked the last time, so that's the reason why the name of this device is a computer. So we'd like to get the computing power, the research power of computer for us, for human beings. So we are user. I'm so bad drawing the people, but this is you, this is me, and we'd like to use this computer. But the problem is this computer is not that smart. So this computer is an electronic device. It's something without even power. It's just dummy. It's nothing. So to use this computer, the people actually put a lot of things inside. There is a CPU, as we checked before, also memory. And this is a storage, a primary storage, where we store the data. And also we have even the external storage in case we have a huge amount of data. So, but this computer use what kind of language? It's a machine language. So do you remember whenever I'm saying the low level, the language, it's a very low level language. We don't understand. This is based on the 0 or 1. It's a binary. So probably the next or the next episode, we may have a chance to talk about the binary number later. But however, we are using the human language, like for example, English or sometimes Korean. So some of you guys are bilingual, and we are using human languages. So they are not very close. They totally different. So because of the gap, so we are using what? the program language. So that is close to computer or the human language. The computer program language is close to the machine or human being. It's a human, so we can understand, for example, Python. However, this guy, the machine cannot understand Python, so we need to convert. We need to translate. So that is called sometimes it's called a compiler, or it's called the interpreter. So this means it's a change, translate such a Python into machine language. In other words, 0 or 1. So in this class, anyone Python class, we'd like to know how we can use such a Python. We don't have to know about the 0 or 1 details. Machine language is too much complicated to understand. Nobody understands, nobody directly use machine language. Instead, we are using such a high-level language, Python language, like the C, C++, Java. But among them, we are using Python. But before we start deep into the Python program language, so we'd better know about so this guy, the computer stuff. Okay, so computer, as we discussed a lot, so this is the device, this is a machine, this is an electronic device. But so that means we cannot even directly use this computer, so this computing power. We need something in between this computer and the human being. So that is called the operating system. So today I'd like to very briefly introduce about this, the operating system. So operating system is the program, or sometimes called the software or program, that can help the people use this computer device. So this operating system is the program. If you want to purchase, if you want to buy the operating system is the program, like the app in your cell phone or computer program. So it's a computer program. So this without operating system, sometimes it's called the OS. So without this, so we cannot use a computer. So there's no way, because it's an electric device, it's a machine. So we need to have such the operating system program. So operating system is kind of the in-between human and computer system. So with the help of this operating system, we are human being. We are able to use this computing resources. So question. So what kind of operating system do you know? Anyone? Linux, very nice. So, and the long flags, Windows, macOS, and any other. So you guys are so smart. You already know there's such a OS. So let me write down your answer. So first, the Windows. We have Windows. And what else? The Linux. Also, we have the Mac, the OS. Dell. Do you think the Dell is the operating system? The Dell is a company name who manufactured this computer. Android OS, very nice. Android is also operating system, which means we have another popular operating system. iOS, yes, very nice. The Mona, so very nice iOS. So let's stop here. So I think that we have most of the popular operating system. So without this operating system, we cannot use computer, which means that definitely anytime, always we need such an OS operating system. That is the reason last time when I introduced how to install Python, I ask the Windows user or Mac OS user. So those who are using Windows, please follow this direction. Those who have the MacBook use Mac OS. So Mac OS, they are totally different. They are not close to each other. They are not friendly. So if you purchase the program for Windows, that doesn't work with the Mac OS, okay? So even the Mac OS is different from the iOS, it's different from the Android. So when you are using computer, you'd better know what kind of operating system you are using. So let's kind of check who are using Windows. If you are using Windows, please, the reaction, the thumbs up. Wow, so many people are using the Windows. What about Mac OS? If you are using MacBook, probably you use Mac OS. So please thumbs up if you are using the Mac OS. Yes, very nice. Anyone else who are using different operating system? Windows, we have already checked the Windows. Anyone else? I think that maybe I received the email from a couple of students, those who are using Linux. So Linux, different name is Unix. Actually, the Linux and Unix are much older than the Windows or the Mac OS. It's old, the operating system, but still being used. So for example, I'd like to show this small device. Can you see this? Anyone who knows what is this? It's a Raspberry Pi, very nice, Felix. So this is a Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is a very small computer. This is my cell phone, but it's even less than half size of our computer. This computer, even though it's a $35 from Amazon, but this one has a 4 GB memory. Probably it's much better than the cell phone. It's better than the cell phone. The Raspberry Pi use Linux operating system. So Linux is kind of old, but if you are very interested in the computer science, I strongly suggest you learn about the Linux and the Unix operating system. So this is operating system. So whenever I'm saying please Windows for Windows user, please follow this, and if I'm saying the Mac OS, so this instruction you can understand though. Whether you need to follow this way, you need to follow the different way. Okay, so very nice. So this is operating system then. So operating system, what kind of things, what kind of function we can use for such an operating system? Apps, yes, very nice, or application. And what else? Program, definitely we can run the program. And what else? Company. So company uses such an operating system. What kind of thing we can do with the operating system? The website, the server, yes, correct. Which means actually the operating system can do everything with a computer. So as I said, without operating system, we cannot use computer, which means, so operating system provide most of the functionality that we need with a computer, like run the program and monitor the process, or connect to the internet, or store the data, manage the data, save the data, take the photo. Everything is on the operating system. So operating system is the main program run on your computer. This is the most important part. So, but you can remember, so my computer use Windows. So if you see the desktop and the bottom left corner, if there is the start button like that, that's a Windows. However, if you purchase the MacBook or the Mac Air or the Apple product, that's probably Mac OS. If you are using such the third party, the computing device. So that will be Linux or Unix system. Then from now on, you can say that I'm using the Windows, I'm using Mac OS like this. Okay, so this, the operating system can do everything that you can do with a computer. So, however, if we summarize quickly what you can do with the operating system is, first, most important part is process. We can do something. We can use the computing resource like the CPU or memory or storage. So such a process is the most important part. Another important part is the memory. As I said, the memory is the primary storage. So I have a question. Which one do you like? Do you like the bigger size of the memory computer or the smaller size computer? Which one is better? Big size or small size memory? Definitely bigger size. Why? Because memory is the storage. So like our drawer. So if you have the big drawer, you can put a lot of stuff in there. However, if you have a very small drawer, small box, so you can put the only small amount. You need to back and forth to the cabinet, as I mentioned the last time. So this memory management is also a very important task of operating system. Third one is this part. So memory is not big enough. Always we complain the small memory. So we need a cabinet that is the hard disk drive, or sometimes SSD. Sometimes this is called the file system. So regarding to the files, so operating system also provide such a file management. So for example, I find the email. Email is a file. So where can you find such a file? Using the mailbox. And I'd like to check my folder. Where's the folder? So the directory, on your directory, you have such a file. Who is in charge of that? This file system also part of your operating system. So if you are really interested in the computer, so please think about more the research or the study on operating system. That will be really, really fun, and you can understand the computer more details. Okay, then let me slightly dig into this file system. So file system, there are two important things you need to remember throughout the anyone Python. One is a file. Another one is directory. Or sometimes it's called a folder. So file, what is a file? File is a file. So we store something data on the file, image file, video file, email file, bunch of different files. So file is the certain structure. So it's something where we can put the computer information. Any information we can put such a data into the file. So file is everything on a computer, because we put the data, image, email, and the website, everything will be stored at the file. Even we are going to learn how to code the Python. Python coding is also file. What kind of file? Python file. So file is one of the most important part of this operating system. Another thing is directory, because we have too many files. So think about your desk. So if you take a look at my desk, there are a lot of stuff. Here, the mouse, here, the pencil. But if not organized, it's very hard to find them. So we need to organize. How to organize such a files? Under the directory. Directory is the group of files. So let's get back to the very simple the practice with such a file and directory. So let me go back to my desktop. Okay, this is my desktop. actually desktop is another important part of the operating system. Operating system provide the interface, how people use the computer using this desktop. So why don't you right click on your desktop, then create a new folder. So you can create the folder. So let me change the name. So please create the folder, then type anyone Python. So why don't you create the folder on your desktop? Then you can create the anyone Python folder. So if you are using the Windows, let me show you the example. So this is the friend, the Windows friend. You can see here. So let me a little bit bigger. So then here, if you right click, you can see the new, and you can click the folder. So then you can name anyone the Python. So from now on, so we are going to put all the files that we are going to create, that we are going to code, that we are going to generate under this folder, anyone Python. So whenever I'm saying please go to the anyone Python folder, so this anyone Python folder is under the desktop. It's always on your desktop, okay? So if you are using the Windows, you can right click on your desktop and the new. And also, if you are using the MacBook, so you can right click on your desktop and create a folder, then the name, the anyone Python. So everyone, create the anyone Python folder. Please thumbs up if you create the anyone Python folder on your desktop. Thumbs up, please. Only 1, 2, 3. Please follow, because we are going to use a lot for this anyone Python folder. Then you guys can easily find the assignment or the necessary files. Okay, anyone folder. Even today, this is the operating system. So from now on, until the end of the computer life, computer history, so operating system will exist. Then we are going to use this operating system. Depending on your computer, you are using Windows. In my case, I'm using the Mac OS. So please keep in mind. So sometimes I can differentiate the instruction. So then I'd like to introduce one of the important program that is running on your computer system. So last time, let me go back to my. I think that we can use this one to check it again. So do you remember this website, the Carol the Robot? If you remember, please thumbs up. Yes, or you can chat. So this is our friend who can help for you and me to learn about the Python. The guy, Carol, was born in Stanford, 1970, and has been used a lot for beginner or the first time use the Python or any program to help that. So we are going to use the Carol robot to learn about the Python. So first program, if you remember, we use if you go to the 11, so this kind of playground. So at this time, we put the very basic, the Python command like the move and run the program. Okay, so at this time, this area is called the IDE. So IDE is Integrated Development Environment, which means there is a place where you can code. Okay, so Python, when I'm saying the Python coding, what is a Python program? So we'd like to use computer using Python language. At that time, we need to type certain command. Where you type? At that time, we are going to use this ID. So this is one of ID. It's a web ID. Only for this one used for only carer. It's not the general purpose. It's only for carer. So we are not going to use this carer for our Python study. So we need something else, IDE, to use Python programming. So today, I'm going to introduce the most popular IDE, which is called the PyCharm. I do not know why name is a PyCharm, but anyway, it's called the PyCharm. It's an IDE. So keep in mind, PyCharm is not Python. Okay, it's different. So Python is a language. However, to use Python language, we need this kind of IDE program. So that is PyCharm. So PyCharm is not Python, but PyCharm can help to use Python. Okay, so which means we need to download and install this PyCharm on your computer laptop. So today we are going to step by step learn how to install PyCharm on the computer system. Okay, so before we start, please keep in mind PyCharm is not Python. So do not say so. If somebody asks, have you ever used the Python? At the time, I have used the PyCharm. PyCharm is one of IDE. It's different. It's a kind of tool to learn, to study, to code the Python. But it's a very powerful and very popular nowadays. So let's start. But as I said, we have two operating systems. One is Windows, another one is Mac OS. They are slightly different, very similar, but slightly different. So let me show you the how to install, how to download the PyCharm on the Mac OS. Then same time, show how to download and install the PyCharm on the Windows. Okay. So first, let me erase, clear the ordering. Yes. So if you are using the Mac OS, please go to this website. Open the web browser and going to the jetbrains.com. Let me copy and paste the address. So, and Windows user is the same. Why don't you open your Chrome or the web browser and type this address. It's www.jetbrains.com/PyCharm. Okay. So please go to this site. Let me show you the example of the Windows. So Windows is like this. Okay. So you can go to the same website. Then this is for the Mac OS. This is for Windows. Okay, it's the same thing. But please click the download. And also please click the download. Then you can see the two selection. Option one is a professional. Another one is a community. Professional is not free. Okay, you need to pay. It's a commercial version. So we are going to use a community version. Community version is a free, but it's pretty much enough for us to learn the Python. So please click the download. It will take a couple of minutes to download, depending on your internet speed. So you can do the same thing. Please click the download. You don't have to select any version because this site automatically check the operating system. So in case of Mac OS, keep Why don't you click the keep? So as you can see, it's a 360 megabyte. It will take the couple of minutes. Also, if we are using the Windows, the please save or the run. Okay, then the relax, but we don't want to waste of your time. So while the program are downloading, let me go back to the another. You don't have to stop. The please keep. Then in my case, I'd like to change it. Okay. Then, so meanwhile, while we are downloading, so we are going to use the PyCharm. Oops, it's not sure. Okay, so we are going to use the PyCharm as an ID. So using the PyCharm, so we can start code Python. Okay, then question is a PyCharm only IDE to use the Python? PyCharm is the only way? No, definitely not. So we have a bunch of other options. So for example, so if you already learned the Python before, you heard about the idle. So idle is default, the IDE to use Python. And also you can use the even editor, the text file editor. Also some other Visual Studio. You don't have to worry about the others here. There are many ways, many IDE to learn about the Python. Among them, we are going to use PyCharm. Okay, so if somebody asks, do you know how to use the Python? Yes, I know. Then how did you develop? How do you develop the Python? I have used the PyCharm like that. But somebody may say, I do not know PyCharm. I used the Visual Studio. It's fine. And I have used the idle. It's fine. But the PyCharm is the most popular, the IDE software for development. Okay, so then let's go back to our downloading. Okay, then so here, oh, I already download. So and the Windows, let's check. So here it's already started. Let's start with the Windows. So if you are okay, so and download everything, you will say welcome. Then most of the option just the default. We don't change anything, just a simple next. Okay, then the next, and the next, and the next, or install. You can install. Then if you are using the Mac, it's much more easier. Double click DMG file. Double click the DMG file. If we are using the Mac OS, so you can see just wait. Almost on the Windows. Oops. Then you will see this kind of the window on MacBook. At this time, this is kind of tricky. So you can click the left-hand side, the PyCharm icon, then drag and drop the PyCharm C folder. This is an application folder, okay? You can drag and drop, okay? That's it, okay? Drag and drop, that's it. Then, you can see that this kind of the progress bar, which means the Mac OS is copying PyCharm CE on your application folder. Okay, so just drag and drop. Okay, then that's it. After done, you can close. Then let's go back to Windows. Windows user, then just click the finish. Oops. Yes. Then that's it. We are done for the installation on your Windows. And let's check what about the Mac OS. To start the Mac OS, start the search bar. Here, the type, the PyCharm CE. You can find the PyCharm and click. Then just if you wait, because it's the first time to start, it may take 30 seconds, 1 minute. Okay. PyCharm is an app downloaded from the internet. It's not from the Apple Store. So we can open, allow. And first time it takes a time usually. I will explain later, probably season 2. If we have another season, I will explain why it takes a time at the beginning. Then finally, you will see this kind of window. Please hold here. Let me go back to the Windows. The Windows, where's the PyCharm? You can close this one. Then, if you type in the search bar, PyCharm Community Edition. So if you successfully install, so you can see this one. And double click. So you will see the same, the Windows as the PyCharm. It will also take a time. Just okay. Everything is default, do not change, okay? Then we are going to start to configure, okay? So for Mac user, let's go back to let me finish the Windows first. Just everything is default. So except this one, later you can change it. But to simplify the process, just the default. Next, and next. Okay, then wait until we got the same window as the PyCharm. Yeah, finally we have the same window, both Windows and the PyCharm. So from now on, I'm going to use only the Mac version, the PyCharm, but they are identical, almost the same, okay? So from now on, even though I'm showing only the Mac PyCharm, but it's the same in the Windows, even though you are using Windows. So let me close. Then here, I'm going to explain the one important thing when you are using PyCharm. So first, here you can see the first one is create new project. Another one is open. There are two ways to use PyCharm. One is you can create your new project. Project means, so you know what is a project. It's the same thing. Under the one project, we can do a lot of tasks. Same thing. So let's say that from now on, anyone Python is one project. Then under the anyone Python project, we can do the if, the for loop, creating file, and asking question, a lot of tasks under the project. So same thing, when you create the new project, under the project is a project. Under the one project, you can code assignment 1, Python 1, and another Python 2, Python 3. So you can create the many Python file under one project. Okay. So similarly, if you already create a project, or next class, I'm going to send the new project for first assignment, first carrot, the programming. At that time, you can download and open the file. So if you already create the project, then you can open. Or if you do not have such a project, you can create a new project. So this project, where if you create a project, actually that create a new folder on the file system. So if you already download the folder, you have it, then you can open the folder as a project. So if I'm saying the project in Python, PyCharm, that is the same as the folder. Okay. If you don't understand right now, it's okay. We will practice. We will see the one by one. So first, so we are going to create the new project. Before we create the project, why don't you click the configure? This is very important, the configure. Why don't you click the configure, both Windows and the macOS. Then select the preference. The first one is the preference. Then you will see this kind of windows. So this is a preference window. Then your may be different from mine because I already installed the before, so it remember. Okay, then this time the project interpreter. Why don't you select the project interpreter? Okay, then you cannot see, there's nothing over there. At this time, click show all. Please click show all. Okay, then add. Please click the plus button. If you follow my direction once again, so project interpreter, you may not see this one because if you install the first time, because I already installed it before, it remember. But if you do not have anything over here, click and show all. Then you do not have anything here. Then click the plus button. Then you will see the add Python interpreter. Then select the system interpreter. Okay. Then click the arrow button. Then you can find the bunch of Python here. Then this one is yours. Please find the 3.8 or Python 3.8. So in my case, I'd like to select the Python 3. Okay, Python 3 or not the 2.3. So Python 3 like this. Why don't you select any of the Python 3? Then okay. Then you will see such a Python 3. That means this is why I explained the PyCharm and Python are different. So we eventually use the Python as a program language with the help of what? PyCharm. So PyCharm should know where is a Python. So this step we select such a Python. Okay, then select the OK and select. Then apply or OK. Then you are ready. If you cannot follow the direction right now, it's okay. Next step, there is a chance to select your Python. So don't worry. If you don't follow my step right now, it's okay. Later, you can watch it again, or you have a chance to select the Python later. So then we are ready to create a new project. So why don't we create a new project? So this time you can see the location. This location, this time just use the default. But later we will use the anyone Python folder later. So this time, so let's check the test. Why don't you type the test project? Test, you can type the test, okay? You can type the test. That means we are going to create the test project, test folder, then create. Then you will see this kind of progress. It will take a time the first time. Then if you don't see such a tip of the day, so you can just check and close. If you do not find the interpreter, don't worry. We have a chance to set up. So everyone, those who cannot find the interpreter, don't worry. We have a chance to add a Python interpreter later, okay? So there is a progress, like the updating, whatever. Because it's the first time to create the project, it takes a time. So please relax and see what's going on. Windows user is exactly same. Meanwhile, let me go back here and for example, configure and setting. Then you can actually select the project interpreter. So there's nothing. Oh, this is a good example. I do not have any project interpreter. At this time, we can select the show all. Okay. Then we can add plus button. Then the system interpreter. Then we can select the Python here. Then OK. Then we will see the Python and OK. Then OK. So we are ready. Then you can create the Python project and create. Let's get back to the. So this is, if you see this window, which means we are ready to use PyCharm for Python programming. So you can see for the test, if you create a different name project, it will be different name. But in my case, please use the test. This is just a test the project. Then you are ready. So we are going to create the first Python file. So you can click right-hand side, and there are a bunch of menus, but you can see the first one is a new and select the Python file. And you can see the Python file name is, what is the best name? Anyone Python. So anyone Python, which means Python file will be created. Enter. So this is the playground. IDE provide your working environment to code Python. So here you can see the cursor blinking. So which means you are ready to type. Do you remember our first program? First program is the hello world. Print hello world. So I think this is very small. So let me try to zoom in. I cannot find so instead, let me share the windows. That will be easier for you see. Yes. So you can see the better. So this is, you can type the print hello world. Don't forget the parenthesis and also quotation mark. Then you can put whatever you want, hello world. So this is our first program. Then we are ready to run. So how can you run the program? There are many different ways. So first way is, if you see the menu bar, there is run. So I need to change again because you cannot see the menu bar. So let me quickly go back to my desktop. So if you see here, so you will see run. If you click the run, Windows is the same thing. Menu bar, select the run, and you can select the run here. Okay, then click. Then this time, we need to select, because under the project, there are many files. So in this case, even though we have only one file, anyone Python, we need to specify which file we are going to run as a Python. So select this run. Then finally, you can see the hello world on your bottom. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. So this is one way to run. If you click the run menu and there is a run anyone, okay, or the run. If you select this run, meaning is I'd like to run the Python file. So which file? Anyone Python. So you can select the anyone Python with the run. One. Also, there's another way. Let me go back to this. If you see on the Windows, there is another. Okay. This one means the triangle arrow means it's a run. So you can click this one. Let's quickly change the print anyone Python. So I add one more the print. I'd like to run it again. So you can click this run. Then you can see the output over here. Hello world and anyone Python. Also, if you want, you can run here. So there are the 4 different ways. Let me show you one by one. The first one is you can use run menu. This is the first way to run. Second is you can use this button. Third method is you can use this one is called the console. Python console means it's a display. So console, next to the console, you can see the arrow button, you can run. Also, the last one is right click on your menu bar. So you can right click over here, you can find the run. Then you can run. Then it will be the same. If you cannot find, if you do not specify, if you didn't follow my instruction to specify the Python interpreter, you can go to here. So let me erase annotation. Then, so if you do not have Python interpreter, so for the test project folder, right click. Okay. Right click, there are many. The option, so you can create a new file and so on. Here, I cannot find here. It's because I already select here, project. You can find the option. I don't think this one. Let me check the new and very optimized run. I don't think so. Let me figure it out later. So I already set up the Python interpreter. But if you do not specify the interpreter, you may be asked to select the Python interpreter. At that time, you can follow the same step that we have done. Let me show you again. So close this one. So let me show you again. So here, you can select the preference. If you do not specify the Python interpreter yet, so go to the project interpreter, left-hand side, project interpreter. So let me erase, so show all. So if you do not specify the interpreter, it will be like this. So PyCharm, to use the PyCharm, you need to specify Python, the interpreter. As I said, they are different. So project interpreter, then if there's no interpreter, you can select this icon and show all. So if you do not have anything here, plus button, then going to not the virtual environment, system interpreter. System interpreter, you can see the available Python. Among them, why don't you select the 3.8, okay? 3.8, latest one, because the Mac user has even the old version, 2 point something. We don't need old version, so 3.8. That we installed the last week. Then okay. Then you will see available interpreter. Okay. Then finally you can select this. Okay. Then you are able to use the Python on your the PyCharm. Then one more thing, the last thing. As I said, we are able to use existing one. So this time we are going to open existing. So then open. So this is your browser file finder. So then we create the anyone Python. So check where is the anyone Python. It's under the desktop, and we have a desktop here. Oops, I double click, so I accidentally open. Let's go back. Yes, here the open and the desktop. The desktop, you can see the anyone Python that we create. So you can select your folder, then open. Then you will see the project anyone Python, which already you create. Then we can start the coding inside here. Okay, so there are two ways to use the PyCharm. You can create a new folder, new project, or you can use the existing one. So next time, next class, so I'm going to send out our Carol project. So you can download the Carol project and unzip the file. Then you can open that file folder using the PyCharm. Then you are able to see our first project, Carol first project on your PyCharm. That's our next job to do. Okay, so thanks so much. Today we spend the most of time to install the PyCharm, which is not easy. Okay, so please watch the video again if you couldn't finish the installation or the setting up. So please watch the video again, then follow the instruction. Then by next class, what I want in this anyone Python, I don't want to give any assignment homework, but this is required. If you cannot install the PyCharm, so you cannot follow the rest of the anyone Python, please watch the video again and follow step by step and start to ready to use the PyCharm from the next class, episode 4. Okay, so before we finish today's lecture, I'd like to send out the polling again. I want to quickly check the how much you guys understand or follow. So this will be helpful for me to prepare the next episode. Okay. I will give the 30 seconds if you are done, so you can leave. Thanks so much. Stay safe. So we are going to have the episode 4 on Friday, same time. Thanks so much.
Bye.
I'm telling a nigga go.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to stay 10 more minutes. So if you have any question, so you can ask to me or the TA, then we will help you for your question. Unji and Trinity, thanks so much. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand or you can ask to the chatting. I think the Jeongkyu, so I think that it's because you specify the project path to the PyCharm. So when you start the PyCharm, it will automatically start the test project. That is the default project. So I do not know exactly where you can stop that. So, but if the test project is open, then still you are able to open the new project. Okay, why don't you go such a way? I think the Trinity may answer. Thank you so much. It's not Thursday. The next class is a Friday. So either is a very, very simple. It's like the baby, okay? So we cannot use the baby stuff for professional coding. So we don't use the either. Either is only for the educational purpose, okay? So that's the reason we don't use it. And the IDE is kind of the preference. So we have iPhone, we have Android, the Samsung Galaxy. So all of them are cell phone, but we use different one. So that's the same reason. So depending on the person or preference, the people use different. PyCharm is most popular and pretty much enough for us to learn the Python. Let me stop the recording. Thanks so much.